Stop guessing which box at Walmart actually cooks your food and which one just warms up your kitchen counter. I bought the top-rated ones so you don't have to return a greasy machine tomorrow. 6. VUSIGN 5-quart 1000W air fryer. Now, if you're walking down the aisle on a budget, this one catches your eye immediately because, well, it's usually one of the cheapest options on the shelf. And it has this really cool-looking 360-degree viewing glass. And I have to admit, conceptually, I love the idea of seeing my food cook without having to pull the basket out every 5 minutes. You know, it saves heat, and it's just kind of satisfying to watch the cheese melt where the edge is brown. However, and this is a big however, once you actually get this thing out of the box, the reality sets in. The build quality here feels, how do I say this nicely? It feels very lightweight, and not in a portable way, but in a, I hope I don't drop this kind of way. The plastic exterior feels a bit hollow, and when you slide the glass pot in, it doesn't always give you that reassuring click that you want. I found myself double-checking the door a few times, just to make sure it was actually sealed shut before I hit start. As for the cooking performance, it's okay. Just okay, because it's only pushing 1000 watts. I noticed it struggled a bit to get a super hard sear on things like steak or thicker chicken thighs. The air circulation is decent, but because the heating element is strictly up top and the glass doesn't hold heat as well as metal. 5. Gourmia all-in-one 14-quart air fryer. This thing is a beast. I mean, look at it. It looks like a miniature commercial oven sitting on your counter. And that's the main draw here. Size. If you have a big family and you're tired of cooking in batches, the 14-quart capacity sounds like a dream. You can fit an entire rotisserie chicken in here, or 2 trays of fries at once. On paper, it's a powerhouse. But you know, sometimes bigger isn't always better. My main issue with this unit is that it tries to do too much, and it gets a little clunky in the process. First off, it is loud, like turn up the TV volume loud. The fan on this thing works overtime to circulate air in that massive cavity, and you are going to hear every second of it. If you have an open concept kitchen, this might get annoying pretty fast. And then there's the stainless steel finish. It looks pro from a distance, but up close, it's a fingerprint magnet. I swear, I touched it once and it looked like a crime scene. But the real downer for me was the heat leakage, because the doors are these French-style opening doors. There's a tiny gap in the middle where they meet. I noticed a lot of heat escaping right at the front, which means the unit works harder to maintain temperature. And the knobs above the doors can get surprisingly hot to the touch. 4. Bluebow 9QT Air Fryer and Grill Pan Combo. I'll be honest, I hadn't heard much about Bluebow before seeing it at Walmart, so I was a little skeptical. But this is where things start to turn around. This machine is actually a pleasant surprise. It sits in that Goldilocks zone for size. 9 quarts is big enough for a family meal, but it doesn't take over your entire counter like the Gourmia we just looked at. The standout feature here is obviously that grill pan. A lot of air fryers claim to grill, but they just blow hot air on meat until it's gray. This Bluebow actually comes with a heavy-duty pan that gets hot enough to put legit sear marks on a burger. I tested it with a couple of ribeyes, and while it's not going to replace your outdoor propane grill, it did a significantly better job than your standard basket air fryer. You get that little bit of char flavor that is usually missing from air-fried food. I also really appreciated the interface on this one. It's got a nice, responsive touchscreen that doesn't require you to mash the buttons. And the visible window, unlike the VUSIGN, actually stays clear. I don't know what kind of coating they use, but it didn't fog up as much, so I could actually see when my wings were getting to that perfect golden brown. That being said, it's not perfect. It's a bit of a dark horse brand, so I do wonder about the long-term durability compared to the big names. 3. Gourmia 14-quart Air Fryer Oven. I know what you're thinking. Wait, didn't you just review a 14-quart Gourmia at number 5? Yes, but this specific model feels like the one they got right. While the specs look similar on paper, the execution here is just better. The doors on this unit feel sturdier, and the seal is much tighter. I didn't have that same issue with heat escaping the front, which led to much more even cooking. I threw a whole chicken on the rotisserie spit, which, by the way, is surprisingly easy to set up, and the result was fantastic. The skin was crispy all the way around, and the meat was juicy. It seems like the airflow engineering in this specific model is just tuned better than its stainless steel cousin we talked about earlier. I also want to highlight the presets here. Usually, I ignore the fries or bacon buttons because they are never accurate, but on this Gourmia, they were spot on. I used the bacon preset and it rendered the fat perfectly without turning the strips into charcoal. It feels like they actually tested these times and temperatures rather than just guessing. It's still a large unit, so you need the counter space, and cleaning the rotisserie spit is a bit of a chore. You know, trying to scrub burnt chicken skin off a metal rod is never fun. But if you are buying an air fryer specifically to do big roasts or to dehydrate your own fruit jerky, this is the one to get. 2. PowerXL 6.3 quart AIRMAX air frying oven. Visual: sleek, modern design of the PowerXL, high-speed airflow animation or close-up of the fan, showing really crispy fries. Getting into the heavy hitters now, at number 2, we have the PowerXL 6.3 quart AIRMAX. You know, PowerXL is one of those brands you see everywhere, on TV, in infomercials, and there's a reason for that. They have really dialed in their technology. This AIRMAX model features what they call Vortex Rapid Air technology, and while that sounds like marketing fluff, I have to say, you can feel the difference. The airflow in this thing is intense. When you turn it on, it sounds like a jet engine warming up in a good way. It gets up to temperature incredibly fast. I barely had time to prep my veggies before it beeped that it was ready. And that speed translates to the food. The French fries I made in this were hands down the crispiest of the bunch so far. I mean, they had that audible crunch that you usually only get from a deep fryer. The 6.3 quart size is also a really smart form factor. It's slightly wider and shorter than standard buckets, which gives you more surface area. That means you can spread your food out in a single layer, which is the secret to good air frying. You don't have to stack everything on top of each other, so everything cooks evenly. I also just really like the user experience here. The dial is satisfying to turn, the handle is rugged, and the basket slides in and out like it's on rails. It just feels like a quality piece of machinery. Cleaning is a breeze too. The non-stick coating is actually non-stick. The cheese slid right off. If you just want a reliable, high-performance air fryer that does the basics exceptionally well, this is a fantastic choice. 1. Ninja Crispi 3-in-1 Portable Glass Air Fryer. Visual: the Ninja Crispi. Host lifting it easily. Showing the glass containers. Cooking at a desk or different location. The reveal of the food inside the glass. And finally, taking the number 1 spot, the absolute game changer, the Ninja Crispi 3-in-1 Portable Glass Air Fryer. You guys, this thing is wild. It completely rethinks what an air fryer looks like. Instead of a dirty, hidden metal basket, you are cooking directly in these high-quality glass containers. First of all, the portability aspect is actually real. The motor head detaches, so you can literally throw the glass containers in the dishwasher, or put a lid on them and store leftovers in the fridge. Then, when you want to reheat, you just snap the motor back on top and re-crisp. I tried this with some leftover wings that had gone soggy in the fridge. I popped the Ninja motor on, hit the button, and in minutes they were sizzling again, right in the same container. No extra dishes. That alone is worth the price of admission. But beyond the convenience, the cooking quality is stellar. Because it's glass, there's zero plastic taste, ever. The heat is intense and direct. I watched my food cook right in front of me, and because the heat source is coming from the top down into the glass, you get this really clean, roasted flavor. It's perfect for smaller batches, meal preppers, or anyone who just hates scrubbing those wire mesh baskets. It's quiet, it looks futuristic, and it solves the biggest pain point of air fryers, the mess. I mean, I made a lasagna in the glass container, cooked it with the Ninja head, ate it out of the container, and then stored the rest. It's seamless. It's not just the best air fryer at Walmart. It's probably the most innovative kitchen gadget I've used all year. If you see this on the shelf, grab it. You won't regret it. Outro. So there you have it, the best air fryers you can grab at Walmart right now. Whether you need the massive capacity of the Gourmia or the futuristic portability of the Ninja, there's something here for everyone. Let me know in the comments which one you'd pick. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.